What's up, wild animals? I'm Melanie Vesey, and welcome to another Promotional Rescue talk show. I'm a stand-up comedian, actress, and filmmaker, and if you want to see any of my work, you can do that over at melanievesey.com. But I'm also a promotions consultant with my own company called Promotional Rescue, and I help people learn how to promote without feeling gross. And if you want to know anything about my services or who I've worked with, you can get all that information at promotionalrescue.com. But on this talk show, I talk with some incredible people who have overcome some incredible things, who I feel like promote awesomely. And I want to hear more about how they do it. I really want to have these conversations to normalize talking about self-promotion, because I know that there's so much baggage around it. So I'm so stoked to have this guy on my show today. He's been on Comedy Central, True TV. He's got a brand new book out called The Art of Being Yay, which is available on Amazon. Give it up for the amazing Aidan Park. Woo!
Thank you.
You are so welcome, doll. I'm so glad to have you here today on the show. And congratulations on your book. That is such a big deal.
Thank you. Thank you so much. It's been, I'm so happy that it came out. That I got done.
So, oh my God, I'm choking on that, because the fact that you said that it got done, I can't stress to people enough, artists and audience alike. It is, so many people have such a great idea and maybe they get started, but it is a very small percentage of people that cross that finish line, that get it to the point where it is available to an audience. So can you just talk about that process of maybe the challenges or the good stuff that you experience with just trying to get the book done?
Yeah. Well, I think the number one problem with any project is the executability end of it, not necessarily the idea end of it. So everybody has a great ideas. The executability, are you going to be able to do that? And so we've got to set it in a way, like anybody who's approaching anything, and you, obviously you had a big reaction, so you know.
Yes.
It's about how executable is this, and setting goals that are doable, and letting go of the idea of perfection, because I look at my book and there are typos in there, and I'm like, you know what? I'll do a second edition. I'll fix it as I go. And I'm like, I went through. I put that bitch through a copy editor like 8 times, and a copy editor like 3 times, and there are still typos in a 180 book page. I'm sorry. This is the best that I could do at this point. I'll fix it as I go. And so you have to be okay with not having it be perfect, and just getting it.
I feel like perfectionism is a problem that a lot of people hide behind. It has to be perfect, or the timing, or whatever, or they feel like they have to feel a certain way in order to do it. And, one of my clients is Maria Bamford, and she is like, she was like, done is better than perfect. And whenever I've been stalled out on something, she's like, just poop it out. I mean, that is the words that came out of her mouth. She was just totally like, just poop it out, and I feel like sometimes when people are listening to this, I'm literally like, you have to have a product in order to take it to an audience. You know what I mean? And I feel like, so congratulations on finishing that, because I know that it is, and writing specifically is very challenging. It's very lonely. It's very isolating. Nobody's sitting there being like, beautiful paragraph. You know what I mean? And as comics, we're such attention whores. So for you to sit there and not get any accolades about it until months, years, or whatever later, I'm sure was a challenge.
Yeah, I mean, especially like English is my second language, and okay, my style, you know my style of comedy, Melanie. You've seen me. I'm audience work heavy, and I make simple, easy jokes that people can connect to. I'm a good time comic. I'm not necessarily this brilliant joke writer in the world. I'm like, you just come into my show and we're gonna have fun, and da. So yeah. With that style, writing is interesting, because I lean heavily on the audience for that element, and that was not there. And I think what really helped me keep that idea of imperfection is, like, I always say to people, I'm like, you know, if I have to give myself an IQ, I'm like just barely above average. I'll give myself a 102, but that keeps me in a place where I'm like, oh, I don't have to be smart. I don't have to be brilliant. I don't have to be. It's just about doing it to the best of my ability at this time and accepting that I don't know everything, which actually helps me get more done because I'm
Yes.
like, you know,
Absolutely. I also feel like it, I mean, we can just look at all of the successful people on the planet. They're not all smart. You know what I mean? Like, and they're not all talented either. You know what I mean?
I'd
So,
rather get it done than be smart. You know what I mean? I'd rather just go and do it.
well, because I feel like all of that judgment on yourself. So I like to think about like when you're just driving, when we put all that judgment on ourselves, it's very hard to keep your foot on the gas. You'll end up putting your foot on the brake. You'll stop. You'll kind of beat yourself up, and we can't create from that place. So
Yeah.
you've been doing stand up comedy how long now?
Uh, since 2012. So is that 9 years? 8 years? 9 years?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And then so
Yeah.
now you've made this amazing transition into author, which is like such a big deal.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
a wonderful way to pivot during this time because we can't perform live. You know what I mean? So you, during this time, released a book, which is so incredible to kind of keep your name out there and projects happening. Like it's such a fantastic pivot. So can you talk about the difference between what you learned maybe promoting the book that maybe what you took from promoting live shows, or like how those two worlds maybe looked alike or very different with promoting the two things?
Sure. Um, I feel very strongly that promotions are only as good as the uniqueness of the product. So it's important to provide something that can only be accessed through you. So Melanie has her brand that people will go to Melanie for. But if Melanie was just an also ran, then you could go to Melanie or Melissa or Matilda or May or Monica,
Whatever. Yeah.
right? Whatever. So it's very important to make sure you have a really strong voice and make sure that you are providing something that adds value in the way that is very unique from your heart. And in my book, The Art of Being, I really wanted to, because I'm like I never talk about this because I didn't want people to think I was weirdo, but I'm a big student of empowerment and neuro-linguistic programming and all of that. And so I wanted to combine those concepts and concept of self-help with my voice using my personal experience for the audience. And they wouldn't be able to necessarily get that anywhere else other than from Aidan Park. And so keeping that in mind.
Well, and I think that that's so powerful because it's kind of like the wounded healer archetype, whatever, which is that you're not just telling people what to do, you've actually experienced it. And I know that for myself, well, you've experienced it and come out on the other side, right? So I know that for myself, the reason why I'm so passionate about helping people is because, I had an acting career. My girlfriend shot me. It ended my acting career. It made my mental health issues went through the floor. It ruined that career. And I really wish that I had someone that was kind of like me, you know what I mean? To help me, because what I did was I retreated so hard and was so bitter, so angry, so frustrated that I really got in my own way. And so I feel like when people come to me, I can see that in them. Do you know what I mean? And then I can say, hey, I will help you not do what I did and not have the pain around that. So I feel like from your life experience, that's what you're helping people do, right? I mean,
I think it's amazing that you help people in this way. And I think it's so cool that you went through that. And and the thing is, for you having gone through that, you can help other people not go through that or help people that are in that state. And I think it's so valuable. And the pain that I was in, for having gone through it, we're able to connect in a way that is experiential rather than just, because the first draft of my book was very like matter of fact, this is what you do, these are the tools. And my editor was like, we want to feel your experience going through what you did, like really like as if I'm there. And so being that open and raw about our experiences really affords others an opportunity to kind of relate and move forward. So thank you
Well,
for your
yeah.
work.
Well, it's taken a long time, you know what I mean? And it didn't happen quick and it didn't happen easy. And, I really like, I really am so passionate about it. And and I feel like in being an artist, it would be just amazingly wonderful if it was just about the art, you know what I mean? And I feel like, I don't know about you, but I feel like I got this message that like artists couldn't be good business people. You know what I mean? It's
Right.
like,
Yep.
and I'm just like, what? I'm like,
That's bull crap. You have to be a good business person. You
I'm,
have to.
and then when I became a business person, I was like, bitch, I am fucking fantastic at this. And that's because I took my commitment to my art in the same way that I am, I am disciplined. I practice. I did the same thing with my business side, right? Like, oh, how can I learn how to do this? Okay, great.
Yeah.
Or how can I coach myself through the process of getting this done? How can I bring those same tools that I do to creating, comedy or a film or what have you, or studying for a role on TV or a movie and bring that to my business? And I can't stress this enough to people that like, if you're an artist, I swear to God, you can be good at business. You can be good at money. You can be good at this stuff. I hate the fact that people put that into our minds. I hate it. It makes me so mad.
Yeah, like like I'm an artist, and I'm sorry, this drives me crazy, and I no offense against anybody. I just like like I mean like when I go to some of these open mics, like I'm broke, as if that's a I don't know. Like I'm like why? Like do you want to be broke? Like is that I don't know. Like I'm broke, and applause break. I'm like why is this? Wait. This is not a good situation. Would you like to not be broke? Like I'm a comedian,
Which is.
No, you're broke because you're broke, bitch. Like, come on.
Right. And it's funny because whenever I do jokes about, I always tell people like I'm doing great, so everyone in LA is not happy for me. You know what I mean? Like nobody wants to know you're doing well. You know what I mean? Nobody wants to know that you're happily married or, that you figured out how to make a little bit of money. And like, so it's like, shit, I've got all the dreams. You know what I mean? I've stolen them all from you, so yeah, I feel like I do feel like it is possible to have an artistic life that is rich and fulfilling and rewarding, but I feel like it does take some practice, and I feel like visibility, right? Oh, I am somebody that you can be like, it is possible for you to be like me. Like I didn't see gay people on TV growing up. I didn't know I could be gay married. I didn't know how to live a life that I currently have. And had I seen it, maybe I could have figured that out earlier. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
I think the business thing is so essential, actually, because what makes a successful business? A business is like, I feel like what makes a successful business, especially when you're starting out, is creating a unique product that solves a problem that they can't get anywhere else. So
yes.
What problem is Aidan Park solving with his book? Well, I'm helping people emotionally, I'm bringing laughs, and I'm using my experience to help people feel less alone in their experience. So that solves the problem. And so it's a business. You have to have a business mind. You can't just be like, I'm funny, and then that's it. Like it doesn't gotta, why you? Why Melanie, right? Because it's obvious because, you're living this great life. You're an example of somebody who's doing really well, and you're somebody who went through a lot and come out the other side, and you're interested in helping people. That is Melanie. Cannot get that anywhere else other than Melanie, So you have to do. So thank you for that. I love this. I nerd out.
I know. But you can get this shirt at Zara, girl. That's all I'm saying.
But they can't wear it like you. They can't wear it like you.
And I also feel like in what you're talking to, because I do a show, about promotion, and I have a business about promotion, I always tell people it's about having the best product, right? So you can kind of work the promotion a little bit, even if though there's nothing there, and maybe you might get a little something, or maybe we see these viral situations where somebody does something crazy for 2 seconds and then they go viral. But I mean, I'm talking about the rest of us that just have to actually create something and then grind and then put it out into the world, hold its hand, nurture it, let people know about it. That's how most people's experience is going to be. So I'm always telling people, you've got to work on your craft. You've got to get better at what you're doing, right? And it's not like you can't grow in that, but don't let promotion just be the thing that's trying to push the ball forward, right? Because having the best product is always the best PR at the end.
Well, okay. So I think like, may I? May
yeah, of course. Go for it, girl. Yeah.
Well, here's the thing. Do I purport that my book is the best thing ever written? No.
For you, for where you're at. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
But I will say that if you're starting in comedy or whatever, and like craft is really important, that can be built. But what you need is a foundation of a heart underneath. Like,
yes.
Because a lot of people will enter the comedy world, or a lot of people will enter whatever they do. They might want to write a book, and then they want to write a book because they feel like they should in order to get something else, or they feel like they want to do this because it's an accomplishment. That is not a foundation that is going to produce a good product. You got to have the heart underneath. What is it that, not about that, I'm going to get this and that. What wants to flower out of your heart?
Yes. So it's an inside job. It starts from the inside out, right? And I feel like that's what I'm talking about. Like that's what promotion is supposed to support. You know what I mean? Like those two things come together. That's the marriage. So let's talk about some of the tips and tricks that you use when you're promoting comedy shows, or now with your book. Like what are some of the mindsets or things that you do to really help yourself not, give up, cash it in, or just be like, whatevs? Like, how do you help yourself?
Well, I'm always looking for a win-win-win opportunity, right? So so I wrote this book, and part of my story is that when I was 19 years old, I was an undocumented immigrant. I was a Craigslist erotic services provider until I got HIV, and I was kind of homeless. And so at that time, I was taken in by a place called Asian Pacific Islander Wellness Center for HIV treatment and care. And now, 16 years later, I wrote a book with the Margaret Cho forward. So, and they're the LG community. So a good way to promote my book and also to serve that community is to take the book and go, hey, you can make a lot of money if you announce that I, over 16 years, have turned my life around, and you really helped me do this and saved me in a very precarious situation. And you could say this to your donors and use me however you want. So that's a win for them. That's a win for me. It's a win for everybody, and it creates good, right? So amazing collaboration.
So smart and helpful. Like it just checks all the boxes. You know what I mean? Wonderful.
I like doing things like that. So it can't just be about like promotion. I'm going to get out there and put my face. No, what are you providing for the people that are receiving your promotion? It's a service.
I think that's amazing. And I've talked with other people on the show too about somehow attaching gifting or charity or something so that it feels good, not only for you, of course, but for your community, so that when they're making that purchase, right, they know that they're going to either like help a situation or to be of service to something, or they just like what you're fucking doing. They're just like, that's great. I love that. I want more of that in my life. And it also sets the tone where it's not just self-indulgent. We don't want to feel like a douchebag. We don't want to feel gross in doing this. So that's fantastic and amazing that you did that. And what a story of overcoming, you know what I mean? So to go from where you were at 16 years ago to then having this book, I mean, is truly a triumph. And it could have gone horribly wrong. It could have gone.
Yes, ma'am.
So they say that the hot water in your life, adversity, it can turn you soft into a potato or hard like an egg. So you have to choose which way that you go. Are you going to soften with the adversity in your life, or are you going to get hard? And then some people even say that you can make coffee, which is something new, right? So, oh, I went from the water into the coffee. I'm completely different thing now. And so I feel like with what we do this, everybody has a unique story about them. And that's the heart that you're talking about, to go behind the thing that you're creating, which is fantastic.
It's gotta be there, I think. And I think that's the thing about like as a PR, I'm sure you get this, is like if people are approaching their art from a position of wanting to share for the benefit of everyone, then it's easy to promote rather than I'm funny, I got to get out there, here I am. That's hard to promote.
Yeah.
Because why is that of interest to those people?
Yeah.
It's got to be of interest.
Yeah, I mean it will start to feel hard after a while. And even as a comedian, it's hard to put up a flyer every other day. Like it does feel like, oh, girl, sorry. Oh, God, you know what I mean? So what do you do when you've got, we're clearly not performing every day these days, but you were performing a ton. Like, how did you deal with having to promote a lot of shows all at one time? Was there something that you would do to kind of help yourself do that?
Yeah, so I used to run 3 or 4 shows a month.
Yeah.
And so each show had a different strategy for the nucleus of the show. So I ran the Rainbow Pop show, the LGBT show at the Laugh Factories. You did one, right?
Not at Laugh Factory, no. I think I did maybe one at Flappers. I think I did.
Okay. Oh crap. Okay. Well, when that comes back, maybe I don't know. Whatever. So anyway.
Great. I'm done. I'm in.
That one. Okay. Like I was telling you about this before the commercial break. Before this started, I was like, honestly, like before the whole Trump thing, I learned everything I learned about promoting from watching The Apprentice. Actually, and it's so embarrassing. It's from the contestants.
Okay.
So one day, we had a challenge where this girl had to put on a circus. Like the 2 teams had to put on a circus, and the girl was like, "Oh, this is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to all the children's stores in the area, and I'm going to raffle off one of their items for our being featured in their email newsletter." And I was like, brilliant. So I grabbed my ass and a stack of flyers, and I walked up and down West Hollywood to try to promote my show at the Laugh Factory. And then I got partnerships, I got raffle items, and all of those people flooded our show. So that's a really good way to kind of cross promote.
Fantastic. Essentially, like, I can't speak to this enough, that you need partnership in your promotion. If it's just you, one person pushing that rock up a hill, it will be very challenging. You will burn out, right? So in those partnerships, you partnered with stores or products or what have you. Those people are in the business of making money. So hopefully what they'll do is, they'll offer you the service, they'll put your flyers in the window, they'll tell people about it, they'll cross promote with you. That is amazing. And we want to look for those things when we are looking for people that promote and to partner us. We don't want to make bad promotional decisions, which means we have a co-producer that doesn't promote or doesn't know how to promote or isn't on Facebook. You meet those people where you're just talking, what are you fucking doing? You know what I mean? Like, and you're making this so hard to work with you because you don't know how to do this. You know what I mean? So that's amazing that you figured that out, and it was a success. And Laugh Factory is a big room to fill.
Yeah, and it went around for 4 years. I'm very proud of it, and I love it. And we in that time we paired with Equality California, No Hate Campaign, Orange Theory Fitness, Body Factory. We had RuPaul's Drag Race queens come in, and we like raffles, and it was like a big party. And so I'm so proud of that, and I'm happy to say like I got that from I didn't even go to college. Okay, so. To pick up stuff from reality television, you can learn from anywhere. So just
well, and I'm always telling people, like, the thing that you're watching this on right now, any device, a phone, a computer, it's a brain. Google it. You know what I mean? Like, how do you fill a blah, blah, blah? Like, just look it up, see what other people are doing. And this is why also too why I do this show, because I feel like that this is such wonderful information, and I feel like people don't want to ask like, oh, how do I self-promote? You know, there's just all this. I think people just want to assume that you just naturally filled the room without trying, or you just relied on the Laugh Factory to sell tickets or whatever. And it's like, you have to be an active part of it. You have to make peace with a part of it. And in making peace with it, you do it so that you feel good, right? And that's the collaborating with companies and services and products that feed you. RuPaul's Drag Race, Orange Theory, Equality California, like that. Those are amazing ways to and also to send that message. That's our brand. That's what we're on board for. That's amazing.
May I speak on the whole learning thing, actually?
Yes, of course. Go crazy. Go.
I find that the learning, okay, so I run into the same problem, and I think this is the issue. Why, Melanie, you can have 100 clients and 95 won't follow through. And the reason is because, so I'm promoting my book, right? So as I'm promoting my book, I'm looking into incorporating Reddit and incorporating book offers for a limited time discount or what have you. Those are things I'm not familiar with. And I found as I approach things that I'm not familiar with, and other people who know more than me are telling me this, I was slow to act because I was like, oh, I don't know. And then I hesitate. And then the information goes further and further away from my mind. And so I think the thing to do is when you get someone like Melanie in front of you telling you what to do, and she is a promotional person, she says something, take the bold action and charge forward to make sure that you follow through, and don't hesitate, because it will wane and it'll get distance. So everybody goes through this like, oh, I'm unfamiliar with this strategy. No, if you're unfamiliar with the strategy and someone's telling you what to do, take bold action, do it now.
Yes, I completely agree. However, what I have found with clients that have challenge is because there's something inside of them that I call their operating system that's slowing them down. So when I'm having sessions with clients, I don't just teach people like, here's the top 10 ways to share on social media. Like, I'm like, whatever, who cares? We'll learn that. Who cares? When I hear, and my brain is like scanning for those issues that they have, oh, I'm afraid or whatever. And I'm like, boop. And I'm like, okay, we got to talk about this right now. What are you afraid of? People are so afraid. What's that?
Maybe they can edit this out later. Are you a landmark person?
No.
Landmark? Okay.
I just know that like if you have something inside of you that is unresolved or that is undone, it will stop you. And so I could give you all of the things to do, but if you don't feel right doing them, so I immediately just clock it. And then I go, well, what's the deal, right? And then they're like, well, they're afraid of being visible. They had parents who told them, like, don't brag. Nobody wants to hear you toot your own horn, whatever those cliche things that everyone says. They're afraid of being, imposter syndrome. Oh, I'm a fraud. They're also afraid of being trolled. I mean, people really are afraid of the internet. You know what I mean? They see all the divisiveness. They see the arguing. They see this stuff, and they're afraid it's just going to come for them, or somehow they're going to get swept away in all of it. So I help them understand this and frame it in a way, because if that operating system isn't right, then who cares that I've given them this information? They may do it one or two times, but it won't be like a lifetime thing. And that's what I want people to do. I want to take the information and move on as long as they possibly can with the information.
That's it. That it has to be that is the way to do it. In my opinion. Absolutely 1,000% right. Melanie's right. Melanie's 1,000% right. Yeah, because like you can't, if you have an operating system that doesn't. So when I was 19, when I got thrown into the empowerment world, that is kind of what I studied. The idea of like making sure your mind is positioned in a way that is empowering and serving you moving forward. So
yes,
subjective beliefs like Aidan's ugly. Is that going to serve me finding my partner? It's a subjective belief. So am I going to pick that belief and then feed it? And then is that going to serve me moving forward to create the life I want? No, that's in direct opposition. So,
Exactly. And I talk to people a lot about taking contrary action. I'm like, if you want things you've never had, you've got to do things you've never done. And so when people come to me and they're afraid about promoting on all of their channels or what have you, and I'm like, we're here to do more, not less. We're here to, and that's what people mean by getting outside their comfort zone. It means you've got to do something that you've never been comfortable with doing before. But I also know too that when you start to do it, then you're going to get comfortable with it. Just because you get outside your comfort zone doesn't mean you stay uncomfortable forever. It means it's like getting in cold water. All of a sudden your body is like, oh, we're cool with this. And then you're fine. And then you can stay in longer and go in deeper, and you will get used to it. And that's when your comfort zone gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. And we're here to build. We're not here to build and tear down and build. And then so we go nowhere. You know what I mean? So it is very challenging, but it's almost like, and this is why I feel like self-promotion is so kind of like way more than just, I'm posting on social media. For me, there's a mindset back there. There are issues that people have within their minds and in their souls and whatever, that gets in the fucking way, And
absolutely.
I'm here to help them with that.
Hey, well, you're obviously great at what you do, so
Well, I'm trying, and I love talking to people like you. You've overcome so much, and you truly are a success. I mean, having a successful show at the Laugh Factory for 4 fucking years. I mean, fuck off. That is amazing. And then the way that you did it, and then you're totally like, wow. And then what I'm doing, I can transfer that into the book. And even what you're saying about providing those good things for people. And so you have this newsletter called the Feel Better Newsletter, and you can get that at aidanpark.com, and you can be a part of Aidan's monthly newsletter, which is so smart. What's that?
Weekly newsletter.
Oh, it's weekly newsletter, which is so smart because you're providing a service to people. It's keeping in your brand. It's also helping grow your audience. It's something that people can share and engage with. Like, it's just a win-win for everyone. It's just amazing. So, okay, you guys. Oh my God, you're amazing. So you guys, we're going to go over to my Patreon right now, and I'm going to go over with Aidan, and we're going to talk about the best and the worst thing that's ever happened to him promoting and or online. I'm sure it's going to be a juicy story. So you can join me over at patreon.com/Melanie Vesey. If you want to follow Aidan Park, and please do, he is a joy. He is a fantastic comedian and now a wonderful author. Get his book, The Art of Being Yay. It's available on Amazon. You can get all his information at aidanpark.com. And if you want to see me, my special, my videos, what have you, melanievesey.com. Or if you want to know more about my business, promotionalrescue.com. I'm here to help you not feel gross about promotion. So thanks, you guys. We're going to go over to Patreon. Bye.